Hey, everybody. We are jumping in with a list that I just picked up. It's called Whispers of Mara. We're going to see what this is all about. Just so you know, um, I did add 3 mods to this list: bandoliers. I don't remember what the other 2 are anymore. I'm drawing a blank on them. Oh, unlimited rings and amulets. And lootable crates. Just those 3 mods. Just because I haven't touched anything else. This is basically, other than those 3, this is straight up the list itself. It says continue because for some reason it's looking at save files for another list and considering them save files for this one as well. I don't like that because I like it when it says that, it has its own independent, list of its own local saves. And I did select that, but it's still registering those as part of it. And I don't like it. It does create its own stock folder. So it's not like, we're sharing. So it has created its own copy of Skyrim to, deploy virtually. This is a list that is over 2,000 plugins, has over 2,000 plugins, and I think about 2,500 actual mods. A lot of those mods, if you want to know why one number is higher than the other, a lot of those mods don't actually have plugins. They're just more like textures and things like that just get added. Is this the type of list I like to usually play with? No. Even on the mod page itself, it says that this list is not crash proof, and so we can expect crashes in the game. Me personally, I really don't like lists that go over 100 gig or have 1,500, well, more than 1,000 plugins. Anyway, really is what I say is the more the better does not apply. It's like it's just too much, right? And I really don't think the game can handle or stays very stable when you get that high. That's just something I believe, and it is something that we see quite a bit of. And it's frustrating when you look at a list and you're like, well, at what point did we add too much to it that you can't even play it for like 20 minutes before it crashes? And then we're talking about games that already had stability issues in the first place. So we're just wanting to add to that. All right, well, that's enough there. Let's go ahead and we're going to start a new game. I haven't really decided what difficulty. Usually I just like to go in survival, but survival, it depends, right? Sometimes I don't like Skyrim's built-in survival mechanics. They don't work very well. So usually when you play Skyrim, you have like Sunheim or something like that, that adds in those mechanics. Oh God, I hate this, man. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Himbo in particular, but it's like if you're going to use it, don't. This body type right here, it sucks. It's not realistic. It's not better than just leave it at the vanilla one. The body type for the male vanilla character was fine. This is crap. Oh God. You can see I'm very picky And then so looking at that, and it just makes me, just makes me it cringe in a sense. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I don't even know what to do here with this because I'm trying to make the character lighter, but as you can see, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm changing. And then look at this. Look at this hair, man. And then so then the question, it does beg the question, well, was this geared is this mod list geared for a female playthrough? Because we didn't test out the hairstyles or whatever. Now, we could say, well, maybe the three mods that you added is interfering and messing with that. It could be. It could be, right? Um, I doubt it, right? But then, you know, yeah, I doubt it. In all truth. All right, so let's do this. Okay. See, and then here's the thing, right? So watch this. Once we now, because my intent was to play a male character. Oh, okay. So that is good to know. Not sure why they're naked in this though. But all right. So first thing, let's relax the complexion a little bit. I want them to, to be rugged and aged, but not necessarily need them to. Okay. All right. Mm, nose is fine. Um, okay. Okay. See, and then right now, even though I could probably go in here and mess with these and bring him down to normal, it's going to be the other characters in the game that are just going to be all messed up. So yeah, not pleased with that. I don't know what the frick eye colors you got going on here. Can we get the normal eyes? Just seems so stupid at this point. It would seem like the better way to do this is start with normal, put that first, and then for anybody that wants to go, well, I can see it's probably in alphabetical order here, but just not really sure what's the purpose of those eyes there. Just want hazel or light brown, something. Okay, there we go. And browser fine. Alright. Mhm. Okay. Mouth. We're gonna leave it there. Okay. Let's look at the hair. You see, that is just so. Alright, so what do we want to do with the hair? And then the facial hair. What is that? Is that some sort of like light that's shining through? Alright, let's do that. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything. Now, one of the things that I do, I'm not sure you can. Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know. I like my character to have strong, thick legs, and it is male, female doesn't matter. Just shows that they. I don't know what it shows. Really, tell you the truth. All right, so this is a standard name that I always use for the male characters. Now, this list has, again, over 2,000 mods, so there's a ton of stuff in here, right? So, it's got a lot of things that need to load up. As a matter of fact, I might need to say pause and come back once it's all. Hey, Sophia's in here. Nice. Fertility mode. We're gonna say yes, right? In case we want to have kids. Of course, our character isn't really gonna be the one having kids, but you know what I mean. In case we, do end up with a spouse. The ashen-haired mercenary. Now, I will say this, and for me, some things, and then here's where, and I guess this, and right now, and don't take me wrong, this is a cool, so far so good, the list looked like it might be cool, stability issues aside, one of the things like this here, okay, there was that little thing that that popped, like when you were looking at something or whatever. Remember that little whatever that light was? I don't see it anymore. To me, I'm like, I don't see the purpose of that. It, you know what I mean? It doesn't serve a purpose, so it's a waste of resources, in my opinion. All right, don't. Why? Why did we have to add that? Why did that have to be there? Was it now the other thing too is it could have been just something attached to a mod that was added, right? And of course, but it's like if and then again, it's my opinion. I don't want anything taken away from the stability of my game. I want my game to actually I want it to work. I want it to run. So when we're adding all this stuff in, is it, the question is some of this actually necessary, right? Like that right there. What is that? Is it absolutely necessary? And if not, then take it. Then don't put it in there. You know what I mean? Because I don't see where that actually enhances the game at all. It has done nothing. In my opinion, right now, has not enhanced the game one bit. Now I could be wrong. And then there's some people that are like, no, I need it. I gotta have it. And, I can't play without that. It's like, okay, slow your roll, calm down. But it's for me. It's like, yeah, if it's one thing, okay, if it's one more thing that's, like I said, making my game break or taking away from something else that could be potentially working better, then then we got issues. Okay. And then the funny thing is, I go through here, and then I start grabbing things. Right? You can see we start, and then now we're putting all that stuff on, and oh god, so once I haven't figured out what the purpose of smooth cam is. I gotta be honest with you. I disable it every single time, you know, and it's the most annoying and just god awful thing that I've seen added, right? And so I disable it every time because this is just dumb. But then again, it's opinion. It's like some people may like it. I think it's something that we've added to the game that just isn't necessary. It's right up there with that blue light. It's right up there with that blue light for me. And then now the thing that I'm very happy to see at this moment is my reticle there. See, I'm very happy to see that there, and I'm happy to see it stay because that's invert. If anything, that's the most important part of my UI right there. So now, what is also interesting to me as well here is look at my health, look at everything. Everything's all I think inflated. You usually start out with 100 for each, and I mean that's a lot of health. That's a lot of stamina, and so yeah. All right, I think I've talked enough to get through everything there. So we have Amorous Adventures. That is actually one of my favorite mods. Usually, no matter what, because the cool part about it is you can add that in, and you can add in the clean version of Amorous Adventures, and still go through all the quest line and stories and everything like that it adds to the game without it needing or jumping into the risque um scenes. Okay, not that the comments and the stuff like that aren't risque, they are, but at least the animations and the scenes, you just get a pop-up that says, you know they basically just a little thing you can read to say, hey, this person, basic, after all this time of being alone, has decided, to trust and share their love with the Dragonborn or something like that. Something, I'm paraphrasing, right? Of course. But you get that. So this is going to be very interesting, but it is one of my favorite because what it does is it changes the way you interact with like 50 to, I want to say 40, 50 different characters throughout Skyrim, right? Isolde, Carlotta, Janessa, Aerolith. Those are just the ones you right there in Whiterun, and there's a couple of others just right there. And then, when you go down to, there's a couple of characters, um, Camilla and Girder. I don't know if it changes anything you do with Delphine or not. But then there's Riverwood, right? And then how about if you go over to Windhelm or go to Riften, right? Mjol, right? It changes how you interact with her. Um, Maven's daughter, I can't remember her name right now, changes. There's stuff with her. Also with Sapphire. And um, I wonder if it adds in. So you can see there's like four or five characters each hold that it changes the dynamic and what and everything you do. It adds stuff for elusive and um a few of the ladies over at the um Bard's College. So it really does dynamically change a lot of the interactions with the characters within the game. All right, so Anna NPCs, I'm not sure, and you can see this is basically NPCs is adding to the game. Okay, so cool. All right. Um, a lot of this stuff here at your own pace, at your own pace, at your own pace. Fine. Bathing in Skyrim, that's going to be interesting because a lot of times you get a mod that's added in, and or there's another mod that adds dirt to the character, dirt and smell, and over time, people start to react if you haven't bathed in a while, react to your smell, or don't want to deal with you because you stink. So yeah, it that does a lot. Um, let's see, just looking through the different what's all that's added there. um Dreams is going to be interesting because I think that is kind of like a thing where now when you sleep you have dreams and you can say, yeah, do this, don't do that, and then that kind of carries over into characteristics that your character will pick up in the real world. Extended encounters, extended UI, fertility adventures. I have not played that through, but that's going to be as part of the whole fertility thing, right? So that could be here. You want to have a certain number of kids. You want to, marry this person, have kids with this person, whatever. Or it could be, I don't know. That we're going blind on that one. Um, Forgotten Wenches, I think that's part of the Hateful Wenches, Immersive Wenches. Yeah. So there's, that one is very interesting because what it does is it adds a bunch of, say, ladies that wait on you at the inns and taverns, but then it also adds more encounters down in the dungeons as well, and because it'll spawn, undead wenches or whatever, and they want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So it does things like that. Immersive hunting, we're going to look at that, but one of the things I have an issue with that I always change, and um I want to see. So right now it says start stop, and then right now the selection is to start mod, but I'm going to wait on that. And one of the reasons I want to wait, if it hasn't already started, is I need to see if there's a time delay. I hate that. It's a game. In real life, yeah, it takes a minute. It does. It takes a minute to skin. It does that. But I think the time delay in the game, coupled with the how time flies in the game already, is inaccurate and overplayed. And then so you you sit down to skin a wolf, and then it's daytime, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you get up, and then 4 hours has passed. Now it's almost dinner time. And it's like, okay, you know, real life, Yeah, because time, time takes time. But you're in a game, so your whole day just got wasted skinning one wolf. And to me, it just is it breaks the immersion instead of enhances for me, right? Because now all of a sudden, I whatever I had planned for today is done. I'm done. In real life, that may be true. It's like I go out hunting, I get this wolf, I drag it back home. I mean, think about it. You drag it back home, you don't, or you skin it in the wild, and then you camp, and you're good. But in the game, that may not be how things should play, or you would want them to play out. So it's kind of like, yeah, no, I can do without. So, and that's kind of how I go with it. So Liel, Rose of the North, I think is another NPC that it adds. I don't know anything about her. I've not actually ever played with her. Lucian, I avoid him. I never really add him to my to. I just don't. I can tell you right now, the male NPCs that get added, Lucian, Caden, Inigo, they just not my. They're just, I don't want them. I don't want them in my group. I don't want to waste my slots on these. I know Inigo is cool and he has a lot of funny things that he says, but it's just not something I need in my game. More HUD. I love more HUD, right? And one of the things that I do right off the bat is I come in here, even when zero, that one doesn't do anything. And I think that is everything for that one. Morgaine, don't know anything about Morgaine. Now, Eola, Vex, and Carlia, obviously these are changes that Nether's made to them, so there's just enhancements. Here's the O stem line of stuff. Um, okay. Now, one of the things, I didn't see it yet. I don't see Sky UI, which is very interesting. But here we go with the smooth cam. Boom, get off of my game, please. Um, Stress and fear. I hate stress and fear. I do because it's stupid. Um, and then I hate to use such harsh words for it, but it doesn't work. In my opinion, it doesn't work properly, right? Because it doesn't matter what you're doing. As soon as you start doing anything in the game, you become stressed and you become fearful. And then it immediately, even on slow, right? It's you I would say within 45 minutes of playing, you're at 100%. You're at 100% stressed and fear. And then the debuffs that happen because of it are ridiculous. Maybe that's why you're starting with such, high health and magicka and stamina because of the immediate, like I said, the immediate debuffs that start to happen. You lose 100 stamina once you're full, once you're completely, and it's like, well, what if I only had 100 or 135 stamina? Right now, you only have 35 stamina because you're stressed, and it's like, how am I stressed? I'm sitting here camping. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it would make more sense, but it would also make more sense, if the more seasoned of a veteran my player is, that you aren't the stress you're able to handle, so the debuffs become less, and then also, again, you should tell me the last time you were 100% stressed and fearful, right? Where one of the things that I like in it too is this. So I used to play pen and paper, right? D&D, pen and paper. And then Um, we were doing this, so we were playing this one thing, and I was the DM, so I'm running my crew, the 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 the, the group. I was running them through this one quest where part of it was they had to go down into the 9 levels of hell, and they had to sneak in and kind of get sneak between to get from one level to where they really needed to get to. Part of it was they had to get past, sneak through Tiamat's lair. Now, in in the quest, right? Tiamat is so powerful and so over just overwhelming, right? The entire time they were trying to sneak through, they weren't even going to fight or interact with her, right? But in order to get through and sneak through, they had to do constant constitution checks to make sure they just didn't freeze out of total fear. To me, that's 100% stress and fear. That's more than, you know what I mean? So, if that level, if you get to that point in this game, right? What are you doing? If I'm camping and I'm at 100, what is happening? That's why I'm saying it makes no sense to me, and it doesn't work properly. Okay? We spend most of our lives, right? Even just stressed and fear. We're probably in the 20s or 30s maximum, until it's that point when you have to give a presentation in front of, like, say 5,000, 10,000 people and this is the first time you're speaking publicly, right? Now you're in the 60, 70 range, right? Where you're sweating, where you're starting to forget your words and things like that. But you can still move and you can still function, right? Now all of a sudden now you're talking, right? But now, okay, or like when if you're in if you're in the military and you're out in a battle, yeah, so yes, it can be, but then there's some people, right, seasoned veterans, seasoned people that have done this, that don't have a problem at all, and it just, you know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't, for me, it doesn't work. It just does not work. So I put it as always disabled, always disabled. Okay, sleep to level up is default UI. So I personally, like I said, I hate that mod. Just because it serves no purpose but just to ruin my game. Um okay. There's another one I'm just hoping they don't have in this game. All right, so True HUD. I come over here, and the scale, I take the 7. God dang it. And then boss bar, if it's enabled, I take that to 7. Yep. Whoop. The widget. Okay. Always okay. See, they already up. So this one you have to put it at 7.5. This one is already at 6.5. Okay, good. All right. Your choices matter. Okay, so I don't see the other one that sometimes pops in here, and it's usually those mimics. I hate that one too because it, and then the reason I hate it is just because it doesn't work. It doesn't actually, you can't fight them off and get it, or I haven't been able to. Like, I played a list and it comes up and it pops and it's like, I don't know what to do. Like, any button I hit or anything I do is not working. I can't get free of it. And then the game is stuck there. And that just like, okay. Then you have to start over and then just avoid it. And I'm like, well, that's no fun. All right. So right now I think that's everything. You can see these are most of the stuff: hospitality, Anarchy, Nordic, Key to Her Heart. I love that one is cool. Um, where Shadows and Scars. Hunting the Huntress. Why is that one not? And you can see who it says: Janessa and Adelaisa, right? Carlotta, elusive, Rhea, Borgoth. This okay. That one is the Malachi Blues. Neria, Ricky, Serena, Maribel. I like that one actually. Silgia. I don't know. That one's kind of Farkas. Aerolith is. Eh. Isolde. That one's kind of out there. Camilla is good. Camilla's alright. I mean, that's just Lydia and Adrian Avanici. Yeah, that was a good one. Mule, Ingen. Yeah, and then Sapphire and Ilya. Girder, Anike. Anike, I don't. Okay. Yeah, all right, now I remember. And then Igrod the Younger. That one's kind of weird, in my opinion. I don't remember who Jonah is, though. Jonah. And you can see the Lone Wolf and the other one with what's his name. Probably I've never played through them, so I don't know what they. I don't actually probably ever intend on playing through them. This one is weird though. I don't know why it's not available, and then or unless you have to do something first before they become available. Because yeah, so but you know. So I think those ones are already automatically ready, and then you have to do other things before they actually pop off and allow you to do. Because Anike, you kind of have to do stuff for her first. I don't know. That one's weird because it's always been available for me. All right, so we're gonna save, and I think I've talked enough. I decided. Oh God, I hate that. I really do hate that look. All right, let's read this real quick. All right, I recently arrived in Helgen and decided to rent a room in the Resting Pilgrim. If I decide to extend my stay, I should talk to the innkeeper, Matlara. I have a feeling something interesting might happen if I do so. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk to the messenger. I think we've got enough stuff going on here. We've saved.
Speak and fulfilled your destiny.
And this one is weird, but it's not weird, but it's different than what I'm used to, right? You love the statue of Mara. So, okay, so right off the bat, there's two fell in a spike pit. So you got the roadside ambush. That's one I usually will choose is either that one. This one's interesting because saved by vigilance, out in the wilderness. And you can see some of these will allow you to like choose where you are. Shipwrecked is probably the one I do more than anything. Left for Dead and Shipwrecked. So these are kind of so the roadside ambush is ambushed along the road by a small group of bandits. Fight for your life. Are we ready for that? You know what I mean? So what it sounds like is I've fallen in a bandit spike pit. I'm hurt and all hope seems lost. Here's another one. I'm a bounty hunter. Man, these are actually pretty chill, man. Because I'm out in the wilderness, but I'm not sure where I am. How did I end up here? Okay, so lost, lost and can't remember anything. All right. I'm up next to be sacrificed by necromancers, but vigilance of Stender are on the way to save me. Interesting. I've been imprisoned by bandits in the old fort. How can I get out of this? That is interesting too. I think, in truth, I'm ambushed alongside the road by a small group of bandits. Fight for your life. That one sounds. these two are start intriguing me the most, right? Bounty hunter sounds pretty interesting, but fell in a spike pit. I'm hurt, and all hope seems lost. The only problem with that is, all right, am I going to be able to heal? I don't want to be put in a situation where there's nothing you can do. You're just sitting there bleeding out, and you can't do anything. You can't get around, and then all of a sudden you get attacked, and you're already half dead anyway. I just don't feel like, see, it's like these. You've been a victim of a crash on the high seas. As you gain consciousness, you're the last survivor. Deep underwater, will you manage to escape? Now, this one is a little bit different than the normal. I was shipwrecked, because if I'm not mistaken, this one, when you get out, it's harder to get out, and I'm not a fan. As a matter of fact, I think I've done that one, and it takes a lot. And this one, I've been attacked and barely managed to survive, wounded and taken by disease. You try to find a way back to civilization. Interesting, man. All right. Which one are we doing, man? Which one are we doing? Let's go. And then you can see it could be anywhere. Random. All right. So once we go out that door, that's it. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. So first thing. All right. All right. So we got 5 perks to start. Okay. Now, this is going to be interesting. Oh, I think we need crafting books to up that one. All right, so for sure. Which way we're gonna go? Part of me wants to do restoration. And then let's get back here, because we didn't do this yet. All right. Message to the player. This message is given to you to confirm that Lucifer, the Argonian, has been installed correctly. By default, he will spawn in Dragon's Reach. However, if you have Arthmore's Start Alternative Life and you select Argonian Dock Worker, arrival by boat or shipwreck as your option, he will spawn near you. Okay. Anything else? Okay, we don't want to. What is start quest by reading note? I don't think we need that one yet. Okay. Ready? Okay, yes, I am very well aware. 45 minutes in, and we're just now leaving the room. This is what you get when you come here. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. We long play, we talk, we have fun, and we try to enjoy all the moments. God dang it! Don't. Did she disappear?
You start running, I can stab you in the back.
I am just swinging.
I'll kill you where you stand.
Can you freaking stop jumping around? It's like playing Halo. All right, you know what? I got nothing. And I don't have any healing potions or anything. And apparently, whatever ability, we made mistakes. This was the dumbest.
You hear me? Dead.
Thanks for wasting my time.
Yeah, thanks for wasting my time. All right, so apparently, hold on a sec. When we get in here, we're gonna turn this down. We're gonna try this again.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Wait, hold on. Fuck you. Dang. We're gonna turn this down. All right. I don't know what connect commands is. I don't think I need that. Okay. Subtitles for sure. I know I should have tried blocking at some point too, but god dang it, man. It's like, let me get my bearings here. Okay, so you can see even turning down the what's the name isn't going to help us out here, right? Because we can block, but you got 3 of them on one. I'm not good enough on my own. I'm out of stamina already. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to load back in. God damn it. We're going to load back into the room. We are. Because we have made some serious mistakes. Because we have overestimated our
Speak and fulfilled your destiny.
our players' abilities, along with our own ability to do anything. So that one, I'm gonna try this one. Okay. And then everything should be all set. Yep. And then actually we're ill prepared for anything major that comes up. I don't want to adjust the rug. I want to see if we have. There was no shield in here, was there? We are very ill prepared for anything that comes up. There's one shield. I don't like using the iron shield because it's considered heavy armor. And right now we don't. It's annoying because right now we don't have. Heavy armor is not our thing. All right. Let's go. And who knows? This might be just us testing all the different starts. Trying to find one that actually works that we like. I did not like that one though. And I think the main reason I didn't like it, there's several reasons, but the main reason is we're just starting out. Again, we're starting out. Oh, frick. All right, let's go ahead. So we're starting out, so we're a new character. We don't know exactly what our capabilities are. What is my carry weight? All right, so we can carry this stuff if we want. And then as you can see, the guys that we were fighting, they are pretty good. All right, so here hide. Oh, that's so dumb. Okay. So I know we're. Are you freaking kidding me? So apparently these starts are meant for a much better player, for one, right? Someone, that. All right, so first things first. That's not what I wanted to do. So this dead mercenary is now alive. Okay. Where's this wolf coming from? We just fell down in this pit. Okay. Where's this wolf coming from? And then we don't have any light. All right. If we go in here, we're gonna die instantly. So we'll go ahead and give it. We're gonna give it a look. But there's 4 guys down here, at least 4. Along with the bandit. Well, there's 3 with a bandit chief. And then right now, there's tripwire. Our best bet. Let's do something like this.
I can't remember the last time it was this cold and for this long.
What was that? Huh? That it? That's no bandit in this living game.
One shot. One shot. So, again, like, I've not actually played these starts before, so I don't know how they're going, but I can safely say they're not done very well. And then I say that, and then I know it can come across as like, well, you suck, John. So it's like, of course you think they're not done very well. And the main reason I think they're not done very well is because you're taking like I said, a level 1 character, so a brand new character, and you're sticking him in overwhelming odds, right? With no actual way to really figure out how to get out of it, right? The ambush, those 3 are there on you. They see you immediately and they start peppering you with arrows right off the bat. One of them does. So running is a possibility, but that's about it, right? That's all you can do is try to run to get out of it. Here, the only way out of that pit is to go through that cave. You can't climb out of it. And then you're already half your health is gone, right? We could have healed, and that might have prevented us from being one-shotted. But again, like I said, right off the bat, you got at least 2 or 3 regular bandits, and then you have the bandit chief that's down in there. They're going to be on you quick, and you notice we were able to take one out and hurt the other one. if I was smarter, I would have healed and switched to melee weapons to to you know, to try to fight, stand my ground and fight there, but I still think we would have just gotten they would have taken us out. There would have been no way, right? Simply because, like I said, we're still just beginning, just starting out. Um
Destiny calls you. Go to it.
the so I'm going to say, and then all of these, this one I'm going to say is probably the um I mean, out in the wilds, where did I end up? That's okay. That one's probably safe. Not really, because you can be attacked. You're out in the wilds. Okay. Saved by vigilance. Okay, right. That might work. I was raised in one of the orc strongholds. Maybe I should go out and make my mark on the world. Did they take me in? Because, I'm a red guard. All right. Prisoner in a fort. How can I get out of this? Now you're going to try to sneak out of prison. That one's going to be tricky, but it may be doable, but we don't know. Um, Bounty hunter, right? This one actually sounds like one that you could look and see what the odds are, and you can walk away from. You know what I mean? You can just, I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to do this one. Right. And, I could be, so again, so back to my point about just poorly done is this. These ones there needs to be a way to win it. Not saying that and then I'm not saying that the slant has to be, well, yeah, you're just going to take them out. No, there just has to be a way to win the situation, a possible outcome that's going to work. And here with the roadside ambush, as a level 1 character with nothing, maybe that's why you're given that could be why you're given so much health. I don't think so. I don't know. But it's like you can win against one or two. It's just that I think with the third one is kind of like that icing on the cake. It's the one that tilts the advantage against you and not, so and then this one, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, there's things that I could have probably done so that I would have fared better. I just don't think there's still a way to win. And like I said, I could be wrong about that. There might have been a way to win. I just don't know. Right. And if there's still a wolf in there, because remember the wolf, I don't know if that was just a random appearance and one just showed up and fell into the thing with me, or if they had a pet one. And if so, that one's going to die. It just doesn't. Yeah. So I'm not a fan right now of these additional starts. And then I guess because it just doesn't feel like of those two that we've done, that there was a way to win it. And again, this is coming from someone who, no, I don't have all those tricks and skills that are going to put me at an advantage or disadvantage. Oh, I didn't go back and get the what's name. Okay. So you see, when I'm out and about, the first thing I do is I can deal with a few minutes. Where am I? Okay. Okay. All right. So right off the bat, I have no clue where we are. This is interesting. I am concerned. The Shrine of Sithis. Okay. I don't know why I'm moving closer to that thing. Because I feel like I'm at the edge of the world or something. You know what I mean? Like, where the heck are we? So, my inner loot goblin is winning, right? Because no matter what, I'm still going around just looting everything. Let's see. So south, Morgaine's Refuge. Morgaine's Refuge. That sounds very familiar. Let's just see. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate nothing. I hate more than this map mod there. Because it, in my experience, it has never worked. Where's south? We want to go south or east. I want to hit south. See, the fact that I see horkers. Oh wait, what is that place right there? What is that? Okay. Okay. I know where we are now. Don't know what that is, but I know where we are. Let's see if we can get out of here. Alright, hold on. I can't even let the dragonfly go. Alright, we're gonna run this way. And hope to not really encounter a lot right now. Because we're so weak and even though there is a house. God damn it. What are you trying to do? So part of me will say this, that little thing again is not necessary. Just die. Just die. I don't need you to, you know what I mean? It doesn't make me feel better about the kill. Alright, so that is the way we want to go, but here's what I'm looking at over there. There is a house. So what we're going to do is we're going to save. I know. This is a dumb move right here. It's like, dude, you know where you're going. Why do you need to check out that house? Especially since something's going to pop up and you're not going to like it. I think this is the house. And I could be wrong. I'm checking it. Abandoned shack. I think this is the house that she takes you to when you do the, what's the name? Yeah, as far as the key. Alright, we'll take those fishing boots. We don't necessarily need them, but Alright. Here. Oh. Right. that noise. That's what I thought. Okay. We're going this way. Wrong button. You guys saw what I saw, right? You saw what I saw, and it's like, yeah, we don't have any reason. All right, we can stop. Okay. Or we can just stop playing. Okay. So, as you can see, we are trying to load back in. It's going to take a minute, but I just wanted to come back, and so we've got over an hour into this. Have I played it long enough to really come up with how I feel about it? And I'm going to say this list is kind of giving me and pushing me towards kind of the same feelings I had with JOG or JOJ, Journals of Yagalog, I think is how it's supposed to be. And it was, in my opinion, with that one as well. There's some cool stuff and everything about it, but is it worth it? And I'm going to say, unless you got a complete top end computer and, you know, just the patience to deal with a lot of the stuff, I'm going to say no, not at all. And I mean, yes, we managed to get an hour into the game before it crashed on us, right? But did we? Because, you know, one of the things that we know is I take an inordinate amount of time to do stuff. So technically, the 45 minutes that it just took me to leave the room really could have really been done in 20, right? So basically, 20 minutes into the game, 30 minutes into the game, we would have seen that same crash because of the area that we were in and what we were trying to do. And so, would I recommend this mod list? No. Not, like I said, not unless you have like complete. Now, unfortunately, this computer is 2 years old and it's running a 3070. And so, no, it's not a top end computer any longer. It's running a 11th generation i9 with 32 gigs of RAM and a, if I'm not mistaken, it's either 10 or 12 gig 3070 card, right? RTX. So, is it strong enough to run this? Maybe not. Maybe not. But just the taste that I'm getting here, you know, the taste that's left after playing is like, just, you know, not truly feeling it in a sense. Now remember, we tried a couple of things that we haven't tried before, and so we don't know or had any way of knowing exactly how they would work. So I just saved. I don't like that because I saved after the fight with the spiders, and I was not there when I fought with the spiders. I'd already figured out where I was going. Okay, there it is. Okay, maybe I just didn't realize where I was. Okay. So going to that shack just proved to be not really even worthwhile. So we're just going to try to get to the city, and then we're going to call it a day. Yeah, there's usually a little. This isn't it though. Shrine of Shiagra. Really? Wait, you got anything in there that I would want? What's my health looking like? Seriously? I don't recall that being there, so that's something new. There used to be a thing here, but that could have been added by a different mod, so can't really 100% know what you're going to get here. And usually, and it looks like I'm just going to have to get in the water. You see that? Alright, first of all, I'm trying to... When you're in third person and you jump in water, sometimes it doesn't let you surface. And I don't know why that is. You have to get in the first person in order to surface. Yeah, so there's usually a smuggler's alcove. So cool. I don't know what this is. The magic and the emergence of artificial life. Transcription. Alright. I'm not going to read this to you guys, but I will take it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, in truth, I think we gained something from that. What's in the barrels? Yeah, we gotta get the milk. The apples. Apples. Now, the crates usually would not be lootable. But we have the lootable crates mod. Now, could that be introducing an extra layer of instability? Oh, heck yeah, it could be. But I figured for the purpose of this list and playthrough, it would benefit us the more stuff we could get. Because again, I don't know exactly. Did we actually get the Nern root? Nern. Wait, I heard a woman. That's not good. Okay, that is not a good thing. All right. Okay, I'm not worried about the mud crab. Oh, he could kill us, but I'm not worried about him because I don't think I've aggroed him. What I am more concerned about is the woman's voice that I heard. Because we got to get across this river. And I probably should get across it sooner than later, is what I'm thinking. Okay. Just based on what I'm hearing. All right. And you know what's funny is, so my dad, he used to, before he passed, but he passed a long time ago. I mean, it's been, over 30 years. He used to call me Shitty Boy. Well, because, all right, so he grew up on a farm, right, just outside Washington, D.C., in Maryland. and he grew up on a farm, right? And here I am. What in the world is she doing?
None of my business. None of my business. I guess you got your reasons.
You okay?
None of my business.
And so he would always refer to me as, a city boy, but he would replace city with shitty. Yeah, I know. Great dad. Great dad. You know what I'm saying? But it's just funny that when I come through and I think of that, it's like, oh yeah. I'm out there listening to sounds of the woods, and every single sound is like, to me, alarming. Whereas someone who's used to being out in the wilderness is like, that's just the sound of the forest, bro. And it's like, well, it sounds like something ominous is about to happen. So, yeah, no. So, as you can see, okay, this, seriously? And I think that's my doing. That right there is my doing. How is it my doing? Because what we did was we added in lootable crates, right? Now, what lootable crates is going to do is it's going to come and it's going to look at all these vanilla crates. What's normally set in a, that's normally set there in a vanilla playthrough. Right here, where you see those crates floating, that's where this boat would normally be. And those crates would be sitting on this ship, right? On this boat. And what has happened, you see what happened was when the mod kicks in, it goes in and it changes these crates from just being part of the scenery, inaccessible, to now they actually have a hitbox, they're accessible, they have loot in them. So it basically rewrites and changes these. And then so now these crates are static where they are with loot in them, right? Then they're accessible to us, to the player, to go in and loot those. Problem is, another mod has moved the boat, has changed the port here and moved the boat here. And as you can see, the boat moved, but these crates are not part of the boat or attached to the boat any longer, and they just float out here. Also, you can see the changes over there on that side, right? So that's what the mod in this mod list is doing. But right now, those crates are just going to sit there and float, right? So we can come on over here and look at these crates. And sometimes the reason, like something like that, so the chance of getting something like that, we'll just take it off, is why you do it, right? You'll find some good stuff. Look at that, minor voice, right? And then this one here, nightingales. We got to cross over here and get to the other side. And then see, usually, and then these, I'm a little surprised by these crates because they're not normally here. And then so since they're not normally here, I'm surprised this actually works for them because it would seem like these were added by a different mod. Now the barrels are different, right? Right. So the barrels are usually not static and usually are accessible. All right, let's look in here. All right, so at least we get the food. I'm getting tired. All right, there we go. Look at that. That's nice. All right, fasten scarf. Let's go ahead and put that on. We'll take it all though. All right, those are stealing. Yeah, we'll take those. Let's put that on. Let's just grab it. And then there's one more crate. And then, come on, can we get up here? Thank you. And, oh, that crate was empty anyway. It's empty. God dang it. All right. And it says I'm tired, but there are more crates in it. Boom. Talk to the Ashen Hair mercenary in Solitude's Winking Skeever Inn. Venture forth to Whiterun or Riverwood. She gives only a name, Ash, no surname. See, I'm really kind of, I'm going to take that. I'm really, oh shoot. I'll take it off. Alright. I'm looking, so we don't take anything that's stealing. Don't need that. Alright. Don't need that. And then sometimes we're gonna be clean, that's for sure. Tons of soap. Tons of soap. Alright. So I think that big jolting.
The warehouse is off limits.
Okay.
I suggest you head back the way you came.
What is this place?
What is this place?
This is the East Empire Company's central warehouse. All of their shipments go through here. Unfortunately, thanks to some problems they've been having, it hasn't seen much use lately. Either way, it's off limits to you.
Alright, man. Alright.
Right then.
Peace. Are we freezing? Is that because we're tired? Is it because we're freezing? You know. You put a scarf on. Doesn't that help? I don't think. I'm gonna jump over here because there's. Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna jump over here because there's more crates, and the looter in me will not let me just walk by crates that could be looted if you know. Oh, okay. I don't know why I clicked on that. This is empty. It's empty. Empty. Okay. Last one. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Man, we're slow. I don't know if that's because we're tired or because we're cold. Combination. All right, once things start hitching like this, it's time to. We'll take the fine boots because we could probably sell them. Deer hide, we can definitely use that for crafting. Oh, dang. That is cool. That is cool. Straight over here. Supplies. I don't know what it does
Good to
for
see you
us.
again.
Good to see you.
Great, great, great. Oh, yeah. There we go. Horse hide. We can scavenge the, take that. Okay. I don't know if I like the models. Like, if I were to go into, if I were to go into body slide, I'd probably change them a little bit. But again, I'm just looking at the male models. All right. Now, what the frick? Here, let's save. So you wondering why I don't overwrite anything? So I can go back to a certain save point and say, okay, this is fine, this isn't. I do like the guard uniform there.
If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Rika. If not, just keep your nose clean while you're here. You'll end up like roach.
So you can see my style of play. I take my time. I pretty much loot everything. And, you know, for me and how I play really does require me to do all the small things to keep building my character up.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Sorry, you need to go home. Go
You
home and stay
betrayed
there
us.
until your mother comes.
Traitor!
Traitor!
You should tell her that her uncle is scum that betrayed his high king. Best she know now, Advar.
You're all heart, Vivian.
Yeah.
Rogvir, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torrig. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude. He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric challenged Torrig. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Interesting. So you see there's no name, just
On this day,
until
I
we
go to Sovngarde.
probably until after we actually talk to them, get to know them. Mm-hmm.
Some gate guard you were!
Let's take her head off too. Just can't not say anything. So we're here. So the next thing would be to actually get a room and rest. It's funny how they look so much like Roman soldiers. But again, you can see here with the crate thing. There's just more things to loot. I am tired. I know I'm tired. And if you haven't learned by now, game, even when we're tired, we can still loot stuff. At some point, all these lower level spells that we're finding, we should probably already know. But I do think we have leveled up. But I think you have to rest to level up. Oh wait, was that a wash rag? Was those wash rags? Yep. Alright.
What's a laugh?
Mm-hmm. Alright. So right now, and then I know, not everybody's favorite, but again, like I said, for our playthrough purposes, these are the things that we have to embrace and do and make ourselves better, right? Because as you can see, we need all the help we can get, and then so the very first thing I always do is come through and make myself a bunch of pouches. And then again, why do I do that? Because of, and this is why I keep always put in the bandolier stuff so that I can make these pouches and then now increase my carry weight.
Arms and armor.
So now I can
forged by a
carry
master
more.
craftsman.
For what purpose? So I can loot more. For what purpose? So I can, craft and get stronger. And again, the getting stronger is going to have to be done via every single way possible, and not just out fighting, right? Because right now if we were just to go scrounge around and just look for fights, we get our butts handed to us over and over again. And it's like, we need to be just stronger and better, period. So yeah, here we are. We're in Solitude. We're going to go back to the Winking Skeever. As soon as I get in there, we're just going to look around for the ashen hair girl. And then we're going to call it a day. Even though we do like the way this one's moving. Imperial.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. You're missing out on some wonderful.
All right, so let's get in here real quick.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna go first.
Stillness, my friend, is the norm for all of Tamriel mourns. The air is thick with a pallid malaise, a blanket from a murder of crows.
You don't want a conversation, do you? I appreciate the attention, but I'm afraid I'd rather be alone right now.
The golden
Seem down.
eagles cry, and the
Is it that obvious?
red dragon
appreciate it,
takes
but
to
I'm just a
fly.
Why would you even be remotely interested in anything I have to say? But if you are interested,
You can't turn down the music.
it's this town. It's starting to get real suffocating around here, and I'm sick of it.
What brought you here?
Most came here to study at the Bard's College because they've been a bit of a disappointment so far. Haven't learned much at all from them. Between that and the dirty looks I get from the townsfolk, I really haven't had the most pleasant of times here so far.
Is there anything I can do to help? could always come with me.
Hushed voices, whispers,
Yeah, I could follow you to the
lights
desk and carry all your stuff. That'd be swell.
Constant thunder
Oh, you're serious, huh? You
drums
know what?
of
I've got nothing better to do. Might as well take you up on your offer. Not like I can't handle myself out there. Besides, it might turn out to be fun or inspirational.
All right, glad to have you aboard.
Glad to be aboard, I guess. Oh, by the way, the name's Yazak. Figured you should at least know my name before we go out adventuring and stuff.
And I'm Goku.
Just say the word and I'm with you. Who knows, this could turn out to actually be a good decision. Or, an extremely bad one. Either works.
All right.
Follow me. I need your help.
Alright, let's mosey.
All right. The first thing we gotta do is get in here, turn that stupid music down. All right, where is the? It's already down low, so I don't think. Is there one for just the? See that? Really? Alright. Maybe we need to go up to that bard and tell him to shut up.
Brothers are dressed in fearful clothes. This chapter shows that death consumes all.
Thank goodness. Alright, we gotta find. See, now we lost Ash.
Home to go back to. This rented room just isn't the same. But maybe one day, huh?
I think this girl is from the interesting NPCs mod.
You look like
And she's from not immersive wenches.
the beggar's humility and the drunk's charisma can't compare to an
Alright, we gotta find Ash. We lost Ash.
Except, of course, that particular rock adventure fell.
Normally, I'm not 100% keen on mods that completely change the interiors of places, but it's mainly because when they do that, it again, for me, it's all about whether something is stable or not stable. And I think when you add in all this extra, it just opens up the possibility of things failing. We lost Ash. There she is.
The name's Ash. If it's mercenary work you need, that'll be 200 gold.
Well, I just wanted to talk real quick here.
I just wanted to talk.
See, I don't know when he does.
Most people ask for mercenary work. Sorry, not interested in even a cursory conversation. If you don't want to hire me, then leave, please.
Wait, why are you here?
Why are you here?
The exit's out that way.
Ooh. I don't know how much gold I got. Do I? I don't really have 4,000 gold, do I? Because I sure enough didn't spend that much. Or I don't remember collecting. I do. I have 4,000 gold. I really do.
The name's Ash. If it's mercenary work you need, that'll be 200 gold.
Okay, so right here, just if that's going to be the opening line every single time, no matter what our conversations before, that's not immersive. That, as a matter of fact, that's just, you right there, you're just talking to or whatever.
no more late nights. Well, probably still some late nights.
You know what? All right, I'll take that off. You see, some lines.
Then that's business. Any questions before we venture out?
I got tons of questions. We're going to ask about the armor.
That's interesting armor. Not quite what I expected for a mercenary.
This thing. Not exactly the most practical looking, is it?
Your skin, those markings, they're fascinating.
The skin
What are
enchantments
they?
help keep me durable in battle.
Interesting. Can I get some of those? I need those.
Forgive me, but aren't you a bit overdressed for a place like the Winking Skeever?
Agreed. But there's a reason I wear these. Let's just say they're a lot tougher than they look. You might be surprised.
Alright.
Why are you here?
I'm a mercenary, looking for work around here. Let's keep it at that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Why are your prices lower than the usual average?
While I am skillful in combat, I haven't been a mercenary for long. I might not stay one for long either. Personal reasons, but I'm training for something.
Oh, okay.
What's your specialization?
Glad you asked. I deal mostly with two-handed weapons, if you couldn't already tell by my massive sword here. Might be surprising for a woman of my size, but I can wield these beasts rather well.
No, we're gonna need it.
Why aren't you drinking or eating anything?
Because I'm not hungry, and it's none of your business.
Are you a vampire? Alright.
I don't have any more questions.
Fine. I do have one for you. What job do you want me to do? Is this more of a general escort or a dungeon exploration?
Perhaps some dungeon work for now.
Have you ever explored a Nordic ruin before?
Once or twice, maybe.
Once or twice, maybe.
You don't have a lot of experience. That's fine. I'll just have to keep that in mind.
How do you know that?
There are ways to determine someone's combat experience just by looking at them. A mentor taught me. Here, I'll let you borrow some skill books. It'll make my job easier. And it's nice to be working with you.
As Ash shakes your hand, you can't help but notice something unusual about her. Her grip is firm and confident, but it's her demeanor that truly captures your attention. She speaks with a directness and precision that is rare, her words measured and almost entirely rooted in logic. There's an air of calculated efficiency about her, a detachment that feels unlike any man or mare you met before. As you journey alongside Ash, something your bond and uncovering her story. As you journey alongside Ash, strengthening your bond and uncovering her story, you'll gain access to new capabilities and options for customizing her role as your companion. Many of these features will become available after the conclusion of Chapter 1, a borrowed soul.
I've heard whispers about some girls going missing.
Interesting.
I hope it's just a rumor.
Interesting. All right. I'm hungry. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm actually really hungry too. So we are going to eat, right? Eat, drink, and be merry. And where's our girl? Where's Yazat? Yazat. And we're tired, so we better get a room. Hey, bro, you're not.
That's probably just in the romance novels.
Oh, there you are. Hey.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend.
See, now this would kick off something, but we're not ready to do any of that stuff yet. We still got to figure out exactly who we are, what we're doing, and if this is even going anywhere. So,
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
now, what is kind of...
Remember the Winking Skeever next time you're footsore.
Oh, God. Seriously? See what I'm talking about? Alright, so normally your room would be right there. And that is it. And we got plenty of books to read.
Well, well.
So that's something I would
This
normally.
is a curious sight. One rarely encounters such daring sartorial choices in solitude. Ah, I suppose not all adventurers prioritize elegance.
Tari, I think we've met before in the town square. I'm Ash, the Ashenhead mercenary. Winking skeever ringing bells?
Perhaps. Maybe you were wearing something more regular.
Interesting.
I
Okay,
remember the
so.
outfits.
Maybe I should start learning some of those healing spells.
Oh gosh,
It is very daring.
so dark in
After a long night at the inn.
Perhaps.
here. All right, so
First, but aesthetics. A close second.
this is us.
Yes. Why do you have to choose? A statement of power.
This is
individuality, and
this is Whispers of Mara. There are some things that are intriguing about it, right? The Ash mod, right? That one is very intriguing. I've never played with that one before.
Provide for optimal mobility and protection with a touch of personal.
The
I'm pleased it meets your discerning standards.
I mean, aside from that, I mean,
indeed, you have a key.
nothing else has like really got me curious right now as to
And still manage to look
anything.
absolutely
You know,
captivating.
it is. Oh, is that Remiel?
You know, darling.
That can't
I
be
have a few
Remiel.
pieces in the back that might
Is that a male or a female?
Sometimes I think it would be nice to
It
have
says
someone
male.
admire her. Someone who
perhaps
leaves
a
those little
silk
gifts
scarf to
unknown.
accentuate those striking.
I'm trying to remember where you would run into Remiel
Finely crafted
or Remiel or
cinch
whatever.
that waistline.
Okay,
My current attire serves its purpose.
so
Keep your establishment in mind. should
yeah.
I order
So I mean, even though there's some intriguing aspects to it,
Sometimes I think
part of
about
me is like,
finding a safer job.
well, I could just go get those mods and add them to another more stable list that I'm not so worried about. That's not so resource intensive, and like Ash, right? I can go grab that and put it on a more, I'm not gonna say dumbed down, but just a smaller list
I do miss having
where
a
she'll
fellow
fit in
to
just
talk
fine.
to. This rented
Um,
room just isn't the same. But
Not,
maybe one day, huh?
but so far anything else.
Anyone who looks like they could be from the Imperial Army, from Cyrodiil, have you? No? Okay.
Interesting. Now, this mod list also has Rigmor in there, and I'm kind of curious about that because it has Rigmor of Bruma, which is the original mod, right? The first mod. And then it also has Rigmor of Cyrodiil, right? Which is the sequel to it. And I don't know if I had made a mistake once and put Rigmor of Cyrodiil on, and without putting Bruma on a list, and immediately it treated me as though we already had done the first mod and we're catching up and basically kicking into the basic part 2. And I was like, I wonder if it would be able to recognize and know that you hadn't done the first part yet, and then stay basically turned off until you complete Rigmor of Bruma, right? And those are major mods to do, so it's kind of like a but it is, I am curious, so we'll see. I don't know, I may come back to this. My first instinct was to just go ahead and finish this up and let it go, to tell you the truth, and then just delete it like I did JOJ. But I'm just curious. I'm very curious.
But hey,
And then I will say this, it is about a 260 gig download, and when it does expand out and everything gets installed, I think it's taking up about 360 gig of space. So basically, you would want to have around 600, 650 gigs of free space just to install it. And then you would want, once it's installed and running, you can go and delete the mods in the downloads folder. So that would free up the 260 gigs, but you would still need about 300, 350, 360 to basically house the game and everything. So it's huge. And again, for me, like I said, that's a lot of space, and I get very weary of games of that size, right? Especially
Did you need something?
when, oh gosh, when you already, when the original game is what, 11 gigs total, 8 or 11, and then with all the DLCs, and then you're like, all of a sudden 60 times the size at some point, it is kind of crazy. So, all right. Well, guys, this is Whispers of Mara once again. Remember, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Peace.